So I made the point earlier, Barbara used an expression about it's just crickets. And I had somebody, an English speaker, it was not just but an English speaker, this woman said, "What do you mean, crickets? And she, people say we sent out a mailing and all we got was crickets. It means the sound in the middle of the night when nothing is going on. So the sound of crickets. So I learned this from our salespeople, use this expression about crickets. So anyway, new customers are an extremely big deal. We talked about how expensive it is to get them, how precious they are once you get them in. And I think one of the things that we as publishers and people who run membership organizations don't appreciate, or we don't put the energy into appreciating how valuable they are. Barb made a very good point. I want to underscore it. Assume they know nothing about you. They have just subscribed to you. They've just spent the money, but they still know nothing about you. We assume, because we sent them a 5-page renewal letter, or in the case of a consumer publication, a 12-page letter. They have read the letter. They've responded to it, either a trial or they've actually paid for the subscription. And 3 weeks later, the first issue comes. You are out of their memory. They do not know, and they certainly cannot remember what they agreed to in the heat of that moment. Okay, they have the ardor has cooled. They are not hot on your case. They can hardly remember who you are. So assume they know nothing about you. I think that's a kind of a good attitude. So best practices for onboarding new customers. Barb had a great list. Robert also has a great protocol for this. I'm just going to share some kind of highlights of ideas that I've used. So we want to boost engagement. We want to boost usage, and we want to boost conversion to pay on a trial, and we want to boost renewals. So the first thing is remind customers why they signed on and reinforce the decision. They don't remember why they signed on. So just assume that. So you sent them a very expensive new subscriber package or a new member package to convince them to come on, and then you tell them, as we will see in a moment, the next letter they receive from you is go to the website, get your credentials, get your password, blah, 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 all the mechanics of it. No, they don't know why they're doing that. Many people will not go to the site to get their credentials. They have forgotten why they were all excited about doing business with you. So remind them. And Barb gave you a list of 12 or 15 ways to remind them. The real point is you cannot say it too strongly, and you can't say it too often. And then the second thing is teach customers how to use and profit from your product or service. Again, I think this is something that most publishers miss. If they do not use your publication, they will not renew. If they do not benefit tangibly from your membership organization, whatever the membership means, they will not renew it. Okay? If you have a how-to publication, as many of mine were, this is a lot easier because you're trying to help them improve their skills, do something a little bit better. If you have a publication that is primarily a news publication, imagine how hard it is. You're sending somebody news. What benefit do they paid you $600 a year for the news. How are they using that news? Do you know how they're using the news? If you don't know how they're using the news, they probably don't know either. It's a lot harder to show somebody how to get the $600 back by giving them news. Let's say that you say, well, I'm giving you news because I'm going to give you a competitive advantage. Well, how does that work? I get the news, I get a competitive advantage. How do those two things go together? How does the news give me a competitive advantage? Tell me how to use it. Help me use your publication. Maybe one of the ways you use the news or trends, new trends, is you make a copy of the publication, of the article, and you give it to your boss. You are using the publication, right? So my point is there must be a way to use it, but what is it? Most people, depending on the nature of your publication, and even if it's a skills publication, they still don't know how to use it. So here's a good example of a typical renewal package. So new customers, especially, they forget why they subscribe. Welcome to Direct Marketing Advisory. Since 1997, our team of experts have been providing marketing professionals with the latest news on how to assure their marketing success. We remain committed to providing you with the best newsletter possible. Notice that everything here in this paragraph is about me, the publisher. Me. Let me tell you about myself, right? Bad way to meet somebody in a bar. Hi. Let me tell you about me, right? No, it's not a good way to. We hope you enjoy the enclosed issue. If you're not familiar, take a moment to review the enclosed flyer for more services that we want to sell you. Okay? There's no reinforcement of why somebody came on board. We have exciting news. It includes both monthly and print and online. Right? It's all about the product. It's about us. But what do they get? When they subscribe, what are they going to get? So welcome materials should remind and resell. So General Contractors Digest, the tagline, manage jobs more smoothly and more profitably. Boom. That's what that publication is. That's what that publication is going to do for the subscriber. It's a new way of managing your contracting business. I know you didn't subscribe to General Contractors Digest because you want the same old, and I guarantee you won't get that here. I appreciate you letting me share what I've learned about managing a contracting business smarter, so you love your work more and get paid better, much better for it. That's what we're going to do for you. Manage jobs more smoothly and more profitably. Let me tell you how we're going to do that. Let me tell you how we plan to achieve that. Super concise 4-page newsletter, a feature. How to make sure your customers pay invoices on time. How to increase your referral business. How to add 15% or more in charges. A foolproof system for keeping your jobs on schedule. Tell them in great detail why they subscribed and what they're going to get. Remind them. If your customers don't see your content, they won't read it or use it. Send them an email on every article. Send them an email about every article in your newsletter. Think about that. You may have and it needn't be every single one. I have a publisher that I work with. They have about 8 articles per issue, and we send an email once a week for 4 of the most compelling articles to remind subscribers to read the publication that they have just paid for. Okay? The subject line is your practice being embezzled? This is for dentists and specialists. No doctor thinks it's possible, but read this. So embezzlement. So there's a headline. Embezzlement at dental practices is on the rise. Here's what you can do to prevent it. Consider this: embezzlement at a dental practice is always committed by staff the doctor trusts. You'll usually never suspect a thing. And this letter tells them 3 ways that this article is going to help them. We're just selling the publication. We've already sold them article by article. Now just think if you have a publication that is, and I have nothing against news publications or intelligence type public trends, revealing trends, nothing wrong with it. Tell them why the article is so important. Tell them what they can do with this article, why it makes them more competitive. Help them, remind them, get them to use it. So with this publication, all the subscriber has to do is to click through to the article. By the way, we also use this to convert new trials, free trials. If they get this, they're more likely to read the publication that they just signed on for free. And it's a great way, if you send it to prospects, to get them to take a trial because they can't get in to read the article unless they sign up for the trial. So Barb talked about orientation, helping people understand how to use the publication. I worked with First Class Flyer, which tells people how to upgrade. And how's our time doing, Robert? Okay. First Class Flyer tells you how to get upgrades. Sounds like a simple thing. It's not that. These guys identify great upgrade opportunities, and they give it to you on a daily basis, they give it to you on a weekly basis, and they give it to you on a monthly basis. Looked at the research and found out that most people cancel the subscription because what? They didn't use it. The publisher's going crazy. I sent them hundreds and hundreds of upgrade opportunities to Europe, to Asia, places that people travel to most of the time, where most people travel. Travel to Europe, fly business class at the same price as economy. Who wouldn't want to do that? Everybody would want to do that. Every subscriber would want to do it. It's a little more complicated than that. You have to have a number of. You have to have a mindset. You have to have a certain number of skills. You have to know how to approach it. So we had a 6-part orientation series, and number 3 is think like a master upgrader and enjoy travel as never before. It's the mentality. You have to have the mindset. Get the most, you embrace the upgrade mindset. It'll lead you to hundreds of, but you have to ask yourself, why endure airline travel when you can enjoy airline travel? So there's a mindset, and we go on to explain it. We also, key number 6, time for your first class flyer test flight. Let's find a sweet upgrade for you. Let's pretend you want to go to Germany for Oktoberfest. Let's just choose a destination. You have a travel destination. Let me show you. Let me walk you through it step by step and show you how to get this upgrade at economy business, at economy prices. And we do. Let's say your departure city will be Chicago. Could be from anywhere. To start a job with, you want to experience Oktoberfest. It runs from the end of September through October. We show them how to use the publication, how to actually put it to use. Think about your publication that way. Tell them exactly how to use it. And what we want to do is we want to get them to do it. We want to get them to do it. So we're going to give them an exercise to show them exactly how to do it. So the next time they get an issue, they'll know how to do it. Okay? That was fast.